Everyone said he was the nicest man in town. He volunteered at charities, smiled at strangers, and never raised his voice. But behind that warm smile was something no one saw coming. When police uncovered what was hidden inside his home, the entire community froze in disbelief. How could someone so kind live such a double life? Tonight, we're diving into a chilling true crime story that proves appearances can be deadly. Stay until the end, because the truth behind his smile is more horrifying than anyone imagined. The town of Briarwood was quiet, peaceful, the kind of place where everyone knew each other's names. And at the center of it all was Daniel Harper. A school counselor, a church volunteer, a neighbor who always helped shovel snow in winter. Parents trusted him, children admired him. He was the definition of dependable. No criminal record, no complaints, just a clean, respectable life. That's why when the first disappearance happened, Daniel was the last person anyone suspected. In fact, he was one of the loudest voices demanding justice. Vanished on her walk home from school. Her backpack was found near a wooded trail just blocks from her house. There were no signs of struggle, no witnesses, no security footage. The town mobilized instantly. Search parties combed the woods. Volunteers handed out flyers. Daniel was there every day, offering comfort to Emily's devastated parents. His calm presence reassured everyone. But investigators quietly noted something strange. Daniel had been one of the last people to see Emily alive. Detective Laura Mendez led the case. Experienced and observant, she noticed subtle inconsistencies in Daniel's statements. Small timing gaps, minor contradictions, nothing strong enough to accuse him, but enough to raise suspicion. Meanwhile, weeks passed with no breakthrough. Then another girl disappeared. Same age, same route home, same lack of evidence. Fear gripped Briarwood. Parents imposed strict curfews. The sense of safety that once defined the town began to fracture. But Daniel remained composed, offering support and speaking at community meetings. Detective Mendez dug deeper into Daniel's background. On paper, everything was spotless. But she discovered he had moved frequently over the years. Each previous town also reported missing teenage girls during his residency. None of the cases were solved. It could be coincidence, but the pattern was disturbing. Mendez requested a warrant to review his digital history. What they found would begin unraveling the illusion of the perfect neighbor. Daniel's computer revealed encrypted files and deleted search histories. Investigators recovered disturbing content, maps of local trails, detailed routines of several girls, and hidden photo folders. The evidence wasn't enough for arrest, but it painted a sinister picture. Mendez knew they were close. Surveillance began quietly. Officers tracked his movements. Daniel continued smiling, greeting neighbors, attending church. But behind that smile, something darker stirred. One evening, Daniel drove out of town unexpectedly. Detectives followed discreetly. He stopped near an abandoned farmhouse 15 miles away. He entered alone and stayed for over an hour. When he left, officers moved in. Inside the farmhouse, they discovered personal belongings, bracelets, school aids, and clothing that matched the missing girls' descriptions. The investigation shifted instantly from suspicion to horror. Daniel was arrested the next morning. The town watched in disbelief as police escorted him out in handcuffs. Cameras flashed. Neighbors cried. Some shouted that it had to be a mistake. Daniel remained calm, even smiling faintly as reporters shouted questions. That smile, still present, sent chills through Detective Mendez. It wasn't fear. It wasn't regret. It was something else entirely. During interrogation, Daniel denied everything. He claimed he was being framed. He insisted the farmhouse wasn't his. But forensic evidence told a different story. His fingerprints were everywhere. DNA evidence linked him directly to the missing girls. When confronted, his expression didn't change. That calm smile remained, unwavering, as if he were watching a movie rather than facing life-altering accusations. Search teams returned to the woods near town. Following GPS data recovered from Daniel's phone, they uncovered shallow graves hidden beneath dense brush. The discovery devastated Briarwood. The worst fears were confirmed. Daniel Harper wasn't just involved, he was responsible. The town's grief quickly turned into anger. How had they missed the signs? The trial began months later. Prosecutors laid out overwhelming evidence: digital records, forensic matches, eyewitness timelines. Former colleagues testified about Daniel's odd behavior, moments of coldness behind his friendly mask. Psychologists described traits of narcissism and psychopathy. Yet throughout it all, Daniel sat still, composed, smiling faintly at the jury. Families of the victims gave emotional statements. Tears filled the courtroom. They spoke of lost futures, empty bedrooms, birthdays that would never be celebrated again. Daniel showed no visible emotion. That absence of reaction haunted everyone present more than anger ever could. Detective Mendes later explained how predators often blend seamlessly into communities. They study trust. They mimic empathy. They build reputations carefully. Daniel had mastered that illusion. He understood that the best disguise wasn't darkness, it was warmth. As more evidence surfaced, additional unsolved cases from other states were reopened. The possibility that Daniel had more victims loomed heavily. Authorities coordinated nationwide investigations. The scale of his crimes may have stretched far beyond Briarwood. Psychiatric evaluations revealed disturbing insights. Daniel craved control. He enjoyed manipulation. The smile wasn't kindness, it was performance. Experts testified that some individuals experience pleasure in deception itself. The verdict came swiftly. Guilty on all counts. The courtroom erupted in quiet sobs. Daniel finally spoke, but not to apologize. He claimed society misunderstood him. Even then, he smiled. He was sentenced to life without parole. As officers led him away, he turned once more toward the gallery. That same smile lingered. Briarwood struggled to rebuild. Trust had been shattered. Neighbors questioned everything. How many signs had they ignored because they wanted to believe in goodness? Detective Mendes later reflected that monsters rarely look monstrous. They blend in. They earn trust. They hide in plain sight. Behind the smile was never kindness. It was calculation, a mask crafted carefully over years. This case serves as a chilling reminder. Evil doesn't always shout. Sometimes, it smiles. And sometimes, the most dangerous monsters are the ones who look the most ordinary.